Welcome to the Shaft Method. We have got an incredible new online course out. It's Yoni mapping, discover her pleasure pathways, move over erotic blueprint. We've got the new technology that we're going to be sharing with you and your partner. You just got to keep on watching this. Make sure you click this the subscribe button, turn on that little ding-ling-ding, so you can keep informed with all the amazing content that's coming out on this channel. And also, make sure you tell all of your fans around about tantrashaft.com. Check out her website. What is it?
thetantricwoman.com.
Exactly. And this is going to be one epic, informative, educational live stream that we're going to be doing. So, babes, over to you.
All right then. So we are going to tell you what is Yoni mapping.
Exactly. So, babes, what is Yoni mapping? The women want to know, the men don't care. Do they need to care? What is Yoni mapping?
So Yoni mapping is a delicious practice, and we call it a sacred practice because this isn't about I'm going to get her off and go straight to the genitals. This is taking love and time to really find out about what turns her on. Right, so we're actually going to teach you about the 5 different pleasure pathways within inside a woman's yoni, and it doesn't just stop there. So we teach you everything in how to prepare the body before you even get to the yoni, because that's one of the issues that women face is like men just go straight to the genitals, right? And the body doesn't feel warmed up. So therefore, when the man goes towards the yoni, we contract. So we give you the preparation and the tools and the techniques of how to be present with a woman in a way that she can begin to open up. And then we give you the juicy part of all the different pleasure pathways with inside a yoni. So this is the new erotic blueprint to finding out what turns you on inside your yoni. So this is literally the gold. This is literally the gold. The gold that you need, you know, everybody wants the millions in the bank account, and literally you've got it right there.
So I'm always talking about yoni mapping as being the ultimate cheat sheet as a man for your woman. Like, once you figure out her pleasure pathways and discover basic anatomy, it's so basic. If every human knew about basic anatomy and what's actually inside of the yoni and all the beautiful pleasure spots, no one knows about the A spot. That's like the juiciest spot. Everyone knows about the G spot. It's like, that's okay, but the A spot's the spot. So if you know about these basic parts inside of the yoni, you know how to navigate around the inside of the yoni, then you can play any woman like an instrument. And women, it's actually your job to discover who you are. So it's up to you to know your own body, your own boundaries, what you like. And the only way you're really going to discover that is actually getting yourself educated. And this course that we've created together is all about educating you as a woman to know who you are, and then you relay the information to your man. And there's way the man mind needs to hear these types of information relayed back to him. Every man, our default setting is to please our woman. Now we all know that because that's what we try and do, and all men think that they're pleasing their women. The biggest complaint I get from women is he has no idea what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. You don't even know where the clitoris is.
Exactly. Now, whose fault is that? Women, it's your fault. Because you don't know where, you just can't relay the information to them. So in this course, we actually teach you about you, women, and how to discover your own pleasure pathways using a very simple new erotic blueprint. And then you can actually tell your man what you like. Remember, he's got a man body and a man mind, and he speaks in man language. You, women, expect him to know you when you don't really know yourself. So this course is for women who really want to take their pleasure to the next level, educate their partners and their husbands so they don't complain about he doesn't know anything. And this will help with a lot of divorce rates.
So this course is not only for women, but it's for couples. So if you're a single woman, if you're in a couple, like, you can watch this video with your man. You can actually use this video as you're practicing yourself. It is so descriptive and informative, with having a live version as Shaft is speaking the information and he's practicing and communicating to me. So you will be able to use his instructions and use this as a self-paced course at your own time.
So you received a Yoni mapping session with the Shaft method. What are the benefits that women need to hear about and men need to hear about Yoni mapping?
So one of the benefits that I discovered was, so before we even got to the Yoni, there was a whole ritual in terms of warming up my body. Shaftwen described some different types of tantric touch techniques on me. So I was able to feel what felt pleasurable in my body, and I was able to communicate that to Shaft. So I really learned different ways of how I wanted to be touched and caressed on my body. And the other thing that was hugely beneficial was that I learned about 3 different spots that I didn't already know, that released so much Amrita. It was one of the most beautiful feedback loops of pleasure one of the most beautiful feedback loops of pleasure that I'd ever received, because the Amrita gushed out. I don't want to say that, actually.
It did gush out.
It did gush out. Okay.
A lot. Like a lot. How come you don't squirt all the time? Like, if I had a lover who's a squirter, first of all, I'll make sure she, has that release, not in my bed, but her bed, because it's a lot. And but how come your partners haven't made you squirt that much?
So my partners have never.
They're really big and strong, just so you know. All of her partners are massive. They're jacked. I'm like a black jaguar. But I'm not.
One actually has made me squirt a lot, I have one lover that has made me squirt a lot. But one of the benefits of Yoni mapping was seeing my Amrita got activated in 5 different spots. And I've never had that from a man. I'm like 39 years old, and I've had maybe only a couple of guys that are like tantrikas that have been able to activate these different spots to essentially make me squirt. And shall I say squirt on camera or Amrita?
Let's use the word Amrita, because there's a huge crackdown on channels like us, sadly.
So there's only been a couple of lovers that I've had that have been able to release Amrita from my body, which is massive. I'm 39 years old, and many men have just not known, even though they've been willing and they've wanted to know, they just haven't had the patience to actually discover a woman's body. And so this is why we set it up like a ritual, because when you go into a space when you're feeling really connected and you both feel like you're learning and you're developing, then you both feel like it becomes part of the lovemaking, essentially. And so one of the benefits is really being able to discover what feels pleasurable and turned on within your own yoni.
So I would say one of the main benefits of Yoni mapping is, as a man, knowing your woman. Knowing that if you apply a fiery touch or watery touch, that she'll instantly get turned on and she'll just surrender and relax. The aim of our course is to actually help you find inner peace, to relax your nervous system, have deeper intimacy and epic love with your partner. It brings people together. It's so basic. Like when you learn basic anatomy and body language and how to read body language, then you could literally give any woman an orgasm. You could understand what the anubis is and how to activate the whole of the inside and outside of a yoni and make any woman multi-orgasmic. This is like one of the biggest gifts you could give to yourself, your partner, and the whole of humanity when you understand the blueprint of the most mystical, mysterious creation on the planet, a woman.
So the beautiful thing about releasing your Amrita through the 5 different pleasure pathways is that from my own experience, I felt amazing. I looked amazing.
You were glowing.
I was absolutely glowing. This is like your free facial 101.
It is.
Your free anti-aging product.
The fountain of eternal youth, as they call it.
Exactly. And it's like, who doesn't want to feel an immense amount of pleasure while looking 10 to 20 years younger, who feels rejuvenated and empowered? Releasing Amrita empowers you because you don't realise how much beauty is coming out of you and how amazing that feels to have that release.
There are paintings in ancient Japanese cultures where there is an emperor with a small bowl on a specially designed bed and a courtesan releasing Amrita, and they used to drink it for eternal youth. So if you want to know how to live forever, check out the Yoni mapping course and discover her pleasure pathways, because 100% of women can release Amrita and 100% of women are multi-orgasmic. When you're educated in understanding anatomy and understanding like basic structure of humans, the way they're put together, then you're able to unpack that and are able to utilize it for pleasure and peace.
So why have I had many partners in my life and not, I'd say one of them has made me release Amrita like Shaft, but Shaft has been the only one that's been able to masterfully access 5 of my pleasure points and release Amrita from these points. Why is that? Well, he's cultivated his own sexual energy and he's taken the time to study women's anatomy and make this an art form.
When you educate yourself around the female body, the beautiful pelvic bowl, the whole area, it's very easy to navigate. You don't get lost just trying to find a clitoris. There's more things than the clitoris. There's like the super orgasm, the full body orgasm. There's valley orgasms. There's understanding that there's so much pleasure and so many different techniques to activate just the outside of the yoni. We teach you this. It's like so simple and so basic for us because we do this every day as our personal practice. But it turns out hardly anyone knows about this stuff. Like when you discover like the G-spot, the A-spot, the holy grail of orgasms, the most healing orgasm you could have is a cervical orgasm. Did you know if you activate your cervix, you could have a high percentage chance of an orgasmic birth? They didn't teach you this at school. They showed birth as a horrific experience, and there's a higher percentage of women, 33% rise in C-sections now, because women are taught to not trust their natural body to actually give births. No one's trained on how to actually activate the womb area, the yoni area, the whole sacred space to feel more pleasure. And the crazy thing about the whole healing arts, the ecstatic arts, especially tantric arts, is it's all about healing through pleasure. This is an option. Healing through play, healing through discovery, healing with each other. Heaven on earth does exist. It's called Kopang Yang. But it's also learning the technologies from these mystery schools, from these ashrams, these sacred temples where we're taught these sacred arts. The original biohacking is Tantra. And when you discover the body through embodied practices, understanding anatomy, nervous system regulation, and understanding how to come to peace within your own mind and your own body, and understand mirror neurons, you could exponentially grow together, evolve together, but have like greater, more epic sexual healing. And that for me is one of the biggest healings you could have. So Joe, how will this enrich your love and sex life?
So, one of the pleasure pathways we teach you is how to activate the cervix. So when I was in practice and Shaft activated my cervix, I had a heart orgasm. And even though we're friends, like, I felt an immense amount of love in my heart to myself and also my friend Shaft. So for me, that brought me into a lot of fulfillment, a lot of nourishment, and a lot of deep gratitude. And so coming from a place of love, which activating any of your pleasure pathways will help you to form a deeper and more loving connection. And so often in relationship, we're wanting to criticize or blame the other person or manipulate or control. So these practices really help you to stay in the vibration of love and really help you to come from a place of gratitude. And I was incredibly grateful that I received so much pleasure during this course. I was able to just really come into my body, surrender, and just have a lot of love.
So yes, the benefits of this course, especially when it comes to your loving, intimate relationships and your sex life, is a deeper understanding of yourself as a couple in the coupleship, but also understanding your own pleasure pathways, but your partner, who's a giver, understanding you as well. The biggest complaint I get is women, and their complaint is, I should be feeling more, he doesn't want to change, he doesn't want to put the effort in or learn about me. So they have the same sex over and over again. It's the women that actually want to be in a relationship. It's the women that get people into getting married, but also, it's a two-way thing. But it's the women, 93%, that are creating the divorces, that are ending the relationships. Women thought it would be a great idea to fall in love with one person and have sex with them for the rest of their lives. For men, it's a great idea. We're fine with that. We're actually fine to have the same sex over and over again until we die. We're okay. Women, they want that, they thought, until they actually started having it. And then they got bored. Eventually, at one point in their marriage, they were like, I don't want to have sex anymore, and I'm not going to have sex anymore. And then the sex ends. And then, instead of being in a loving, happily ever after relationship, it starts to become just co-living, coexisting, getting by, looking after the kids, sex is off the tables. The woman, the first thing she wants when she comes out of a relationship is another relationship. And the cycle continues. The issue is the women not understanding that she has the power of the whole relationship when she discovers her pleasure pathways, when she owns her sexuality, when she knows that her partner is a space holder for her pleasure, and together you're able to have an epic sex life. It's the foundation of every single relationship. Else you might as well just be in a friendship. And that's eventually what it turns out to be after the 3-month period, after the 3-year period, after the 7-year period, and then there's a divorce after however long that is. So this course is the glue that will bring you together. The woman, for you to understand your pleasure, for the man to hear what she likes, so you have a better understanding, because communication is the best lubrication.
So this will enhance your love and sex life, because often, and one of the experiences that I've had, is that I can feel when a man is touching my yoni when he's in his head. So this course allows you to both drop into your body, to feel one another, and to actually go deeper into pleasure, so that you can experience the release of your Amrita and to also connect and see what desires arise from this. Like, I literally had visions and desires start to flood out of me when my Amrita was flowing. So it's purely magical what can happen just from being able to feel your partner in this way.
So the beautiful thing about the course that we've created together is so simple for you to digest. It's very simple language. There's no woo-woo. It's basically science, psychology, and also anatomy, and understanding body language and patterns and behaviors. And then you get your cheat sheet, so you could give your partner multiple orgasms and release Amrita whenever you desire. Now, just imagine having that level of control and power, so your woman will always be satisfied and will always come back to you. So this is the ultimate way as a man to understand and listen to your woman and actually know what she wants. Like, this course is so simple that you could actually master a woman's pleasure pathways, her anatomy, and give her the epic sex life she's been craving for. Now, if you want to know more, click the link below. We've got this online course and a special offer, so make sure you check out tantrashaft.com/store. It's on a special discount rate at the moment. And if you want to know more about Jo, where can we find you?
thetantricwoman.com.
So make sure you find her. She gives the best tantric massages in the world. If you want to overcome erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, and erectile dysfunction, and overcome porn addiction, this woman could do it in how many sessions? Two.
I've done it in one session actually, but I would say 2 to 3 sessions.
And if you're a woman out there and you want to learn about your own pleasure pathways, this is actually the second session in my 4-stage package. You can find me on sacredsexualawakening.com if you want to know about my Yoni massage, Yoni healing package. Yoni de-armoring, something every woman needs to understand and heal through. So once you've healed the sexual trauma, then you do the second stage, which is Yoni mapping, which is the online course I've created. Then the Shakti surrender, where you are able to surrender and actually feel pleasure and have the galactic orgasms that you've heard about. And then the initiation, which is where you learn everything that we know in a very beautiful initiation into the tantric arts. It's a very secret, powerful ritual that I've created. So if you want to know more, find us, click the link below. And if you're watching this channel, make sure you like and subscribe. And without your simple clicks of the like, this channel can't explode as much as it wants to. We want to impact millions of people, so bringing world peace through intimacy, so there's no more blaming and shaming between men and women. So we'll see you in the next episode.